Today's number, 9.2%. 9.2% is the amount of Twitter that Elon Musk has recently just brought up. And it's actually more than 9.2%. But we'll come back and talk about that in a minute. But actually, y'all, what I really wanted to talk about today is the real number today is one. Number one, number numero uno, because we have the very first Black Supreme Court justice that has been officially nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court. Give it up for Ms. Ketanji Brown Jackson. All right, y'all, listen. This is the Daily Number. This is the segment of the Finance Rebel Show where we come to you daily and talk about money, right? Talk about what's going on, everything, and how it could potentially impact your money, impact your wallet. And today, it's a joyous occasion. It's a very, very joyous occasion. But, again, this channel is all about empowerment in terms of your money. We talk a lot about stocks, taxes, business, economics. If it's about money, it's on the table. I'm Kamari Ellis. I'm your host. I'm a tax accountant by day, financial educator by night. And I love talking with you all every day about money and how you can overall improve your money. Forgive my tardiness today, having technical difficulties, and it's raining in my part of the world. So I think that's part of it. So if you see any glitches or anything weird, don't blame it on me. Blame it on the rain. Blame it on the rain. So good evening to everybody. If you're just now joining in, come in, shout your city out, put your name in the chat so I can acknowledge you, and we will get on with today's show. And like I said, we're going to talk about Elon, right? Had to talk about Elon because everybody's been asking me about Elon, and I'm going to do my best to be objective, all right? But again, I was really, really happy about Chief Justice Brown. I think there were Justice Brown. I'm not sure who gets Chief Justice and who gets just Justice, but I think it's dope. I think it's dope. It's pretty dope. All right. So again, we're going to talk about the stock market rundown as we always do, right? We're going to talk about Elon Musk, right? We're going to ask the question, is Twitter going to be a better investment, long-term investment, now that Elon is a board member? And we're going to talk about that as well. All right. And we're also going to talk about the affirmation of the day, the affirmation of the day. So let's jump right into it. Let's get into our daily stock market rundown. Let's talk about what happened in the markets. It's really, really interesting right now, as always. But, I always think it's interesting. So let's hop right into it. Let's hop right into it. So give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. Stock market today, measured by the S&P 500. We all know the S&P 500 is the 500 largest U.S. publicly traded companies. All right. So 4,500 hit 4,500. So not good, not bad. But again, we're still seeing everything going on with Russia still be crazy. Take these glasses off, right? Everything's still crazy over there. So we're still going to see a lot of volatility, a lot of turbulence. Things are going to continue to happen, but for the most part, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. All right. And we are seeing the S&P still is at roughly year to date a negative 5.5 or 5.66%. So we're seeing that kind of move along. It's going to be, again, some days up, some days down, but I think it's going to be kind of fair to middling, as some of the elders might say, right? I don't know if y'all know that. If you got any old folks, old Southern folks in your life, I love some of the old sayings, right? So fair to middling, that's kind of mean easy as it goes, right? Not too high, not too low, nothing too crazy. But oil fell or continues to fall below $100 a barrel. So as oil continues to fall below $100 a barrel, that gives us more hope that gas prices will fall. And again, we've already talked about President Joe Biden releasing 180 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. I always get that tongue-tied, right? We've already talked about that happening. And so how it's affecting the oil markets, right? That's roughly 1 million barrels a day. So again, $96.75 per barrel is where the oil price or the price of oil is right now. Right now. So again, it's kind of a good thing. Kind of a good thing. Now, gold's up next. Can anybody guess what happened to gold? Can anybody guess? Gold dropped 1937. So gold right now is 1937 per troy ounce. Again, if y'all remember yesterday, it was roughly, I want to say it was either 1943 or 1965, something like that. I kind of forget day to day. I just know it's in the 19-ish range. But again, falling way below that $2,000 per troy ounce mark. So again, it's like I told y'all, this is going to kind of happen. Gold's going to continue. I feel it's going to fall. It's not going to drop. It's not going to crash, but it's not going to be as high as it was at 2000 range. Only if something really, really crazy comes out of Russia and Ukraine. All right. So gold right now is at, again, up 5.8% year to date since January 1. So we're starting to see, again, I believe this is developing into something else, but it's not a new trend yet. It's not a new trend yet. So be patient, be patient, be patient. All right. And Bitcoin, 43,397, 43,397, 94, like it updates every minute. So $43,394 per Bitcoin. So again, y'all noticing Bitcoin is kind of tracking, right? So that's kind of a flat day for Bitcoin. It's not doing much, not up, not down. Very similar to what's going on in the stock market. So again, I'm not expecting much, but you never know with Bitcoin because somebody will light a match on the Bitcoin. One of the big Bitcoin whales will come in, buy some up, push prices a little bit higher, and it will look crazy for a little bit. Now, who's excited about the nomination? Who's excited about having a Chief Justice or Supreme Court Justice named Ketanji? I know I am. And I know somebody's going to be like, it's not going to change anything. It doesn't matter. Black people still want to get treated bad. But guess what? Black lawyers matter. Thurgood Marshall mattered. If you don't know who Thurgood Marshall is, if you didn't read history, didn't take any history, Thurgood Marshall mattered. His mentor, a lot of people don't talk about his mentor who died from cancer, but he was really the architect largely of the civil rights movement in terms of the legal side, was Charles Hamilton Houston, right? Thurgood Marshall's professor at Howard Law School. Look those folks up if you don't know about them, right? And then you will begin to see how Black lawyers in particular, and listen, a lot of the professions matter because representation matters, because anytime, or not anytime, because we have another Black person on the court, and I don't know how instrumental they have been outside of just the color of their skin. But typically, anytime we have someone that is Black in anywhere, that's Black skin, Black culture, Black representative, Black ownership, right? They feel it in their bones. They tend to make change. They tend to speak up for their people. Might not always be the way that the mass population of the mass group wants it to be, but they tend to do something, right? And they tend to do a better job than leaving that post vacant without anyone with any melanin in it. So keep that in mind, y'all. I'm expecting some things. I mean, it's a Supreme Court. They're not going to have a party, right? It's not going to be twerk fest, right? It'll be the boring and dry stuff, the stuff that really creates wealth, the stuff that really creates society. But keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye out for it. I think it's going to make a big difference going on. But I don't want to talk about Judge Brown too long because I know y'all not here for Judge Brown tonight. Y'all want to talk about the money. I know I'm excited about Judge Brown, right? But I will contain my feelings for Judge Brown's new nomination. And no, I don't care that she's married to a white guy. I said it. It's out there. If you have a problem with it, oh well. I don't care. I'm interested in my audience. Do y'all care if she's married to a white guy? Put that in the chat. Say care, don't care. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. All right. But again, Elon Musk is in focus as always. This guy is like the P.T. Barnum of the current age. He really knows how to make media move. He really knows how to get the attention of TV, news, print, and everything else. And so recently, he has been campaigning to get Twitter to make some changes. He says Twitter should be the public sphere or the public place for public speech, even though Twitter is a publicly traded company, meaning that people own it, right? So I see a lot of confusion with public speech and how we say we have a right to speak. It's our First Amendment right, but they're always talking about it on some private enterprise's platform, right? So again, it's funny how he comes in and he's now doing this. But let's get into it here. I got some notes here. My super producer Hayden put together some awesome notes for me, and I think they're great. So I'll definitely share them with you in a second. But I also wanted to pull up this article and show you a few things. So let me go back. Like I said, I've been having some technical difficulties. I actually had to switch up my screen because things got a little bit crazy here. All right, so here it is. Elon Musk to join Twitter board of directors after becoming largest shareholder. So Elon is now the largest shareholder on Twitter's board. And if you don't know what Twitter is, it's actually one of the first social media platforms to really get like major traction. Like forget about like MySpace and all that, but like after that, the next wave of social media, Twitter is kind of where it really jumped off at. And then Facebook came along, and then we got the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Snapchats, and all of that. And who knows, God knows what. I guess YouTube is in there as well. But Elon, again, knows how to get his name out there. Elon knows how to manipulate the markets. Elon knows how to, some people praise him. And I know one of the Elonites is going to come here from Elon's church, where he's the head bishop, head master, and tell me I'm hating. Not hating. These are my objective observations. All right. These are my objective observations. All right. So just a little backstory on Elon. South African, came here by way of Canada, and then came to the United States. Right. He went to UPenn, my hometown, studied in physics. What people know Elon Musk for largely is for his quote unquote ownership stake in PayPal. Now, Elon didn't start PayPal, right? He created a company that wasn't doing that great. They got bought by PayPal, and then he was able to then get kicked out of PayPal, right? So there's some commonalities to the other famous pale-faced guy who gets a lot of attention that helped to form Apple, right? And I guess rightly so. But people really love Elon Musk. And so they kind of harp on his becking word, everything that he says. So here are some other notes that I'm going to pull up. I'm going to read directly from the notes real quick. All right, so once he got fired from PayPal, right? PayPal then was bought by eBay for $1.5 billion. All right, so Elon got that money. He wasn't at PayPal any longer, but he got the $180 billion. Then he went on to form SpaceX. He took his money. He went on to form SpaceX. If anybody knows the story, they talk about how he almost went broke. He was sleeping on the couch of his friends. He was homeless, right? He gave up his fancy car because he wanted to trace his dream. Sounds admirable, right? And then so through SpaceX, he was then able to get a lot of accounts with NASA, all right? So he made some money with that. And then from there, he was able to form Tesla, got Tesla to buy out SpaceX. And now SpaceX is no longer publicly traded because it was bought by Tesla. And so, but it's still moving underneath the overall Tesla umbrella. And that's a whole other story within itself. But I know y'all don't have all night to be with me. I'm sure y'all don't want to hang out with me all night either. All right, so let's do this here. So, all right, so with that said, now, recently, Elon, right, this is according to a BBC article, Elon is now a major shareholder in Twitter. Biggest shareholder in Twitter, matter of fact, because he was complaining about how Twitter hasn't really evolved. One of his big things, one of his big pet peeves was you can't edit tweets. Now, in fairness, I actually agree with Elon. I don't do a whole lot of tweeting on the Twitters or tweeting on the Twitters or whatever you want to call it, because sometimes it gets a little, I don't know, it's like you can't keep up, or at least I can't keep up. I don't know if I'm just too old or what it is, but I can't keep up. And a lot of times I'll type something real fast. Autocorrect will kill it. I feel autocorrect is the devil, by the way. And then I can't edit it. It's gone. So I either can delete it and then write a new post, but I can't edit it. So that's been like his big thing. All right, so back to the notes. So Elon Musk has acquired a 9.2% stake in the social media platform Twitter. This announcement of his new investment sent shares roaring 27% on Monday. As of March 14th, last month, Musk owned roughly 73 million shares of Twitter. All right, 73 of shares of Twitter. His stake in the company is worth a staggering roughly 2.9 billion. 2.9 million, and makes him the largest shareholder in the company, even passing the company's founder, Jack Dorsey. Now, if any of y'all know about Jack Dorsey started Twitter. Jack Dorsey also is running Block, which used to be called, oh man, what's the name of it? They own Cash App. I can't think of the name of the company. It's not even been that long. It's been like 6 months since they changed their name. Square. Is it Square? I believe it's Square. All right. So that's Jack Dorsey. So not only is Musk an investor in Twitter, but he frequents the platform daily. He uses it as his own personal megaphone, in my opinion. All right, posting sometimes 12 times a day, or even more, to his 80 million followers. Musk seems to be planning a takeover, but why? He thinks that free speech is under attack. Twitter poises Musk proposed. I messed that up. Totally botched that up. All right, he thinks that his free speech is under attack, or more importantly, that his free speech is under attack. In one of his trend-setting Twitter polls, Musk proposed this question to his followers: free speech, is it essential to the future? Is it to the? I'm messing this up, y'all. Forgive me. All right, so I'm going to give y'all the Cliff Notes. So, all right, so Elon again bought a major stake, but here's the thing: when he filled out his forms with the SEC, originally he said it wanted to be a passive stake, right? He wanted it to be a passive stake. Now he not recognized. He reported a week late. He's always late in filing reports. He has a history of ignoring the rules, and some people give that a pass because they say, oh, he's on the spectrum. Oh, he can't think. He can't do regular administrative things. We should give him his pass because he's uber smart. I think he knows what he's doing personally. But he let the SEC know that it was a passive investment and he had no ambitions of taking over. But then it was found out that he had more shares and he's been buying shares a lot longer than it was currently known to be happening. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Here's where the politics comes into play. The current CEO of Twitter, who Elon actually makes fun of quite often, made Elon a chairman. So Elon can't do what's called a hostile takeover. And that's when you get major investors that will come in and take control of a company. You can do that when it's a publicly owned company, because they want something that company has, whether it's the audience they have control over or access to, IP or intellectual property they have, or just some asset that they feel is really valuable. And so they said in order for him not to be able to do a takeover, they'll make him a board member, because board members can't buy more than 15% of the stake in the company. So Elon has been kind of having a financial temper tantrum, so to speak. And so since he's been getting festered and berated by the SEC, he says, hey, I'm going to go buy Twitter. Now, these are my thoughts. These are my opinions. The super producer is in the background, Hayden, right, who helped me with this. And so he also helped me out with a lot of this as well. I am not the biggest Elon Musk fan, if y'all don't know that already. Now, again, I'm being objective when looking at this. Who does this benefit the most to have Elon on the board of Tesla? Now, some people will say, well, we live in a capitalistic society. It's about making money. The shareholders of Twitter are now making money. It's a good thing. Maybe. But what happens if he starts to do what the former president, and he starts to use Twitter? Well, they kind of already do that. Both of them already do this. They start to use Twitter to form rallies, to form capital takeovers or insurrection activities, right? Whether it is physical or financial. So what happened on January 6th could very much, and kind of is already happening with some of the Reddit bros that are over there. So just keep that in mind. But I do want to show y'all a clip. About Elon and some of the reporting on this. So give me 1 second and I will bring this right up. But, again, I find it really interesting that he now wants to be an owner and a board member of Twitter.
The last thing before we go tonight, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, is one of Twitter's largest critics and now its biggest shareholder. The world's richest person bought up about 9% of the company, and his reasons why have launched a lot of questions. Back in December, Musk tweeted a meme depicting Twitter's new CEO as Joseph Stalin. In February, as Russia invaded Ukraine, Musk said he resisted demands to block Russia's news sites from his Starlink internet satellites, calling himself a free speech absolutist. Just less than 2 weeks ago, he polled his 80 million followers asking if Twitter adheres to the principle that free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Then he asked, is a new platform needed? When asked if he would consider building one, Musk replied he was giving it serious thought. But as we've seen with former President Trump's attempt to launch a social media platform, it's not so easy. Bloomberg opinion columnist Tim O'Brien points this out today. Quote, Musk probably isn't in it for the money, even though he's made about $1 billion on paper. He invested in Twitter to push it around, and that should worry free speech advocates. O'Brien goes on to say Musk fashions himself a free speech purist, but he bullies his critics. Free speech, the question is, whose free speech? And the bigger question on everyone's mind now, will Musk...
So I disagree. I feel he's going to buy or is buying Twitter to make money, but it's an indirect benefit, right? So he may not make a whole lot of money off Twitter, but he will use it to be its own bully pulpit. He'll use it to bolster Tesla, which he's already done before. He'll use it to bolster Bitcoin, which he's already done before. He'll use it to, again, further manipulate markets to push up that Dogecoin, which he's already done before. Now, he's done it to the upside and the downside because the man doesn't know how to stop talking. But again, what do y'all think? Do you think this will be a good investment move? Now, I want to look at some of Tesla shares, right? Now, we can go back and we can see, again, the stock has been up over 29%, right, on Monday. Jumped like crazy. So I'm going to pull up the chart of Tesla. I want to look at that real quick. And then I would like to hear from y'all. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Tesla, do you think Elon is going to make Tesla a better investment? I'm going to reserve my commentary for after I get some of y'all's thoughts. Now, I can't pull up. I'm having some technical difficulty, y'all. This is weird. Uh-oh. So I was going to pull a chart up of Tesla. It jumped up on Monday, and then it jumped up to roughly $50. So it jumped up from $50. It started at $47. Actually, last week, Tesla was at $39. Then it jumped to $50. So from there, it went higher. It went higher on the news of Elon coming in and saying, I'm going to be on the board here. Political move. But that's a major big push. I mean, that's a major trajectory change for Tesla. Excuse me, keep confusing the two. For Twitter, the T's are confusing me, y'all. That's a major change. That's a major change for Twitter. The stock price, that is, right? So as it gets bigger, as it shows more, and again, I don't know why this is not working. I really wanted to show y'all the chart. Give me 1 second, y'all. Bear with me 1 second. So yo means Twitter. What does that be, Tom? Now, I didn't get a chance to give everybody a shout out yet. Y'all know I always love to acknowledge everybody. Okay, there we go. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet today. I guess it's the rain. That's why I can't stand the rain. All right, so Twitter jumped again, $39 last week, jumped up to $50 on Monday, hit a high of roughly $51.37. Then the next day went even higher, right? Went up to $54.57. Then started to taper on Wednesday, fell a little bit more today. People were starting to get over the new shock, over the excitement. The markets tend to do that, right? The markets will get excited at first, will jump out the window and say, oh, this is great. This is the best thing ever. And then they'll say, you know what? This really isn't that bad. And they'll have what's called buyer's remorse. And then they'll be like, this doesn't really matter. So, but again, if you go back and look at Tesla, it's been kind of a dog, so to speak, right? It hasn't been that great. Now, the chart I'm looking at right now is the daily chart. These are called candlesticks. Now, I am switching to the monthly chart. Y'all know I like to keep it to the basics here, but it's good to see some visual representation when we're talking about stocks. And so you can see kind of the roller coaster where we hit an all-time high. When February of 2021, what happened then? The great, what are they calling it? They're calling it the insurrection, right? When everybody went to the Capitol, went crazy, and most of the folks aren't getting locked up. A couple of people are getting locked up, but a lot of that was around Trump and political news and all the political hype. But then if we go back to, let's go back to the beginning. Here we have it as 2014. Twitter was trading at $43. So the highest Twitter has ever gotten has been around roughly, roughly $77. So no, excuse me, roughly $80. $80. So it's never really been a blockbuster stock, so to speak. But now with Elon there, that might change things. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think this could permanently change Twitter's investment potential? Will it be a good investment, a bad investment, or do you just think it's blah? It's blah. It's nothing. What do y'all think? So as y'all go in, do me a favor, just go ahead and chime in and see what happens. See what happens. All right, so what's up, TB? Love the pick. Okay, cool. All right, Larry, what's up, Larry? Larry from Texas. That's my tax guy right there. Hi, Jay Jones, how are you? All right, TB's from the Bronx. I spent a lot of time in the Bronx. I have a lot of fond memories of the Bronx. My family lives in the Bronx. All right, so Larry was excited about Justice Brown. Cool beans. Oh, so you over there in that good weather, in that sunny place over there in San Diego, California. Cool. All right, so what's up, Tone? How you doing? Tone, have we looked at Toro yet? All right, so Tone is saying, all right, I got it now. So Tone is saying, no, he doesn't care that Justice Jackson is married to a white guy. I don't care either. Somebody's going to say I'm an integrationist or assimilated or I'm that furry animal with black and white spots just because I don't care who people marry. I'm sure it's coming. All right, Larry says he doesn't care who she marries. All right. And Miss Jones says we're excited for Judge Brown too. All right, cool. All right, Hayden's here. Twitter is a breeding ground for violence. Well said, young man. Well said. It can be. I think all social media right now is a breeding ground for violence. If you look at what's going on Twitter with some of drill music, hip hop. Some people won't say it's not hip hop. I call it hip hop. Yeah, it's crazy. There's violence all around. But guess what? America is a very violent place. It started as a violent place. So the way a thing starts is usually the way it ends. Oh, I keep saying Tesla. I know I got Tesla on the brain for some reason. I just rode in a Tesla. I will say this. I think I shared this with y'all before. It's a very, very well-made product. I'm still not on the bandwagon of the stock because I believe it's overvalued, overpriced. But, hey, I could be wrong. All right, so Tom says, I think it'll change as he gets bigger. Okay. All right, anybody else? What are y'all thoughts on Twitter? Is this a good move? Is this a good move for Twitter having Elon on board? What do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think. All right, so I want to tell you what I think. I'm not a fan of Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is the modern day PT Barnum, but he does know how to move markets. I think this will have a positive impact on Twitter stock, sadly, especially with some of the Reddit fellows over there and the Wall Street Bets fellows over there and everybody that's a member at the Elon Tabernacle. So I think the stock price could potentially go higher, and that is not a recommendation to buy or sell. The Financial Rebel Show, the daily number segment of the Financial Rebel Show, is for entertainment and educational purposes only. That's it. All right, so Akira says, hello, I don't trust ooh. So Akira says, I don't trust boers, right? That's what they're called in South Africa. I might be mispronouncing it, right? Point blank, someone stated on your Instagram he's going to try to stifle Black Twitter. He's chaotic. Maybe. I told you gigafactories will take over. Maybe. Yes, investors believe in this too. They absolutely do believe in him. Absolutely do. But to what extent? Folks believe in the orange monkey too. And we see how that worked out. And so anytime, folks believe in folks like a Jerry Jones, we see how that ended out too as well. So you got to be careful. So that's all I got for y'all tonight, except for our affirmation of the day. Y'all know we always have to do our affirmation of the day. And today's affirmation is, as I pull up my notes, today's affirmation is, I welcome miracles into my life. You know, again, a lot of times people walk around with a frowny face, looking sad, looking glum, looking somber. But if you welcome miracles into your life, you have something to look forward to. Picking on my buddy Tone, we always joke around. We talk about the lottery tickets he's going to make, because, right, I don't like lottery tickets. If y'all notice, again, this segment of the Finance Rebel Show is called the Daily Number. I'm inspired by that because growing up, everybody wanted to play the number daily. Actually drives me crazy. But I always found it interesting to find interesting topics to talk about daily, interesting financial topics to talk about daily and their impact overall. So I talk about the daily number. So in a way, I'm welcoming miracles in my life, even though I hate the numbers. And I hate the fact that people waste their money on numbers so much. When you look at the money, the amount of money spent on numbers and the amount of money won, it's usually a losing proposition. But you can't deny that people are looking for something greater. You can't deny that people are then hopeful, right? And expecting a miracle. Now, miracles don't come that often, but when they come, they happen really great. They change lives. Now, I'll say this. I feel like I have miracles happen to me all the time. I was just complaining the other day. I spent all my money, right, helping my son out and doing some things, and then the very next day, boom, something comes through. Something very unexpected. So, in fact, it was a miracle. Now, some people might say it wasn't a miracle. It just is a product of your work, but I wasn't expecting it, and it just came, and it's there. So, I am happy for that. And any miracles that want to come my way, I am definitely open to it, all right? So I definitely welcome miracles into my life. All right, y'all. So listen, I'm always humbled that you are here with me every day. You take the time to come out and hang out with me. Remember to be great, okay? And remember that to really make change, you always have to have an attitude of winning. In order to have an attitude of winning, you got to love what you do. You got to love the people you with, all right? So don't forget that, y'all. And remember always to continue to seek out the light. Until the next time, I'm Kamari Ellis. If you like this, if you value this, or you got value for this, do me a favor. Like, comment, and like the channel. Like the channel, comment on the broadcast, and share this out. All right? So that